I'm Jean Park. I'm 21. I'm from Korea, Seoul, and I'm currently a student at Chapman University in Orange County studying dance, but I like to call myself a performance artist. I had the privilege to have a international education, so most of my education was in English, which it made a lot of sense to move to America for school. My relationship with dance has been very rocky throughout my whole life because of how body-centered the art form is. I've always been very athletic. I've done sports all my life. But dance was really different because your audience is so critical of how your body looks at all times. And especially for women, there is an extreme standard that is often unhealthy to achieve, and it has always challenged my view of myself as a dancer. And I think that's why I've shifted my language in calling myself a performance artist rather than a dancer, because I feel that the way I express myself goes beyond what I see in the dance community. I would describe the gender of my dance as just human. I don't like, unless I'm trying to make a statement about gender, I don't see myself leaning towards extremely masculine movement or feminine movement. It's pretty neutral in how I enjoy dancing, but sometimes when I do want to make a statement about this gender binary, I will lean into this hyper feminine movement, which is extremely intricate and long, versus masculine movement, which has a sense of power and it's very broad. When I was in high school, I really wanted to dance femininely. I wanted to, but it felt like I wasn't allowed to because my body wasn't feminine enough. I really love K-pop dances, or K-pop in general, because there's always been a drag element to K-pop. And I think that's what's always been intriguing to me. When I was younger, I would make K-pop covers, and when it's a male group, I like put on that, like, the male costume, and I would dance super strong and masculine. But when I'm doing like girl group dance covers, I'll dress in like a little skirt and have this hyper feminine quality and like look cute. And it's like playing with gendered expression has always been so interesting to me, and my love for K-pop definitely fueled that. When I presented a piece I choreographed, one audience member asked me, "Why do you only cast women? Why don't you cast any men?" And when I got to college, the opportunity men get is so much greater than what my other women dancers have been getting in college, because the ratio between male and female in our dance department is pretty much 5 to 30. There's about 5 male dancers and 30 female dancers in my class. And actually all 5 art scholarships went to the men. So many choreographers want to cast they have gendered castings. They're looking for a half male cast and a half female cast, and that creates so much competition between the female dancers in our program because there's so many female dancers compared to the male dancers who get casted in everything, because there's so few of them. And they don't have to compete. They don't have to be better than each other because they're going to be casted anyway. I don't think we should be competing for such few roles. And I think the casting should reflect the ratio of male to female dancers we have in our program, especially since this is a program everyone is paying for, everyone is invested in at the same level. They should all be getting the same level of opportunity. I encountered the word feminism probably when I first moved to college in America. being in California, there is a lot of liberal conversations that occur, and I never identified myself as a feminist before, mostly because of the negative portrayal of feminism in the media, and I shaped my understanding of feminism based on that negative portrayal, so I kind of held myself back from identifying as a feminist. But I think I've learned a lot more of how inclusive feminism is supposed to be, and how radical it's supposed to be in so many ways that the media doesn't correctly portray. Korea has a very head down culture, and it comes from our collectivism, and it affects the community positively and negatively. Women have an extremely complex role in Korean culture. There is this extreme selflessness that is expected from all women. Like, women aren't supposed to be selfish. And I'm very lucky that my parents have permitted me to be a selfish being. Not in how I treat other people, but in having autonomy over how I want to live my life. And I think that has played a huge role in my feminism, that my parents don't see me as a woman having to attach themselves to a male partner or a female role, but they just see me as a human that's trying to be happy. I think the way feminism is kind of opening up in Korea is that a lot of women are refusing to have men's children, refusing to be attached to men. And that's why there's also an extremely low birth rate in Korea right now. And it's interesting how this is kind of a strategy they've used to combat it, which is different from what I've witnessed in America for sure.